So we have ExE up against ReAlliizX. I haven't cast a ReAlliizX in a long time, but he is a really, really strong Terran player. And it is a TVT. It's our first TVT of the day for this tournament here. Let's get some names, get some production. Alright, so in the top right, it is ReAlliizX from Team Penguin. Thanks again to Team Penguin for putting on this tournament. And down here we have ExE Terran player as well. But from Team Imba, with some really strong talent on that. He is Diamond ranked at the moment, but that doesn't necessarily mean that he's any sour of a player, I would say, because there's a lot of people. We just had a changeover of a season, so a lot of times you get put down a league. There's a lot of talk right now about the changing of the ladders. A lot of people upset about being placed in the wrong spots, not getting ranked appropriately. I don't generally try and spend too much time thinking about that, but I can agree that there's a lot of people that sometimes new play are clearly not in the same level as you, either way too strong or way too weak. Like, I get put up against like top diamond players, and I'm really just like, I'm a lifer platinum player, and sometimes you get people that are just starting the game, like I mean just starting the game that I've played against, and they don't know how to play yet. And I'm thinking, I've got like 3 or 4 years of Starcraft history. You can see I shouldn't be the person to really test people out on too much, unless they schooled somebody, and then you've got to, you know, push them a little bit further. We have, well, a little bit gas, a little bit faster here from ExE. I like going for a faster gas in the TVT matchup, just so I can get down that factory nice and quick. Allows you to be able to go and get out the Raven, get out your Banshee if you want to go that direction. Just more defensively minded. Does cost a little bit on the economy, and generally you don't want to get that Reaper because you want to get out the faster factory anyways. Notice on this side, likely will just be that Reaper opening from ReAlliizX. Head across the map, see what he can get done. You're going up against Marines, it's pretty likely you're going to be able to at least get a little bit of damage in. Immediate factory, immediate, observer, immediate command center there. So this is a pretty good opening. I like it a lot. Everything times out nicely. You're able to just get in there and get the damage you want. Let's see what the follow-up here is. Look, it's going to be a command center follow-up for ReAlliizX. I think it would be on the... I thought it was going to be a command center. Am I missing something totally here? No, just scouting around. Oh, yeah, there it is. I'm like, why am I not getting this? Ah, because he built it and didn't get there yet. Anyways, command center is going down behind this Reaper. Little bit aggressive. That's the only thing I would say if you go and do this. I mean, the Reaper should be able to give him a good idea of what's happening. But if it is going to be a Banshee, it's going to be very, very difficult to protect both of these bases with just Marines and no tech. The Reaper gets up nicely. We'll see the timing of everything here. Sees that it is going to be a tech lab and a starport, so Banshees will be on the way. The difficulty is a long ways off getting out, you know, his own starport to deal with this. He might have to throw down an engineering base just to survive, which is really not ideal because you've got to bounce all over the place to try to keep that out. You need a Viking still, even with those, you know, turrets in place to give you detection. Almost wouldn't have even minded seeing like a fast tank push. The problem is that ExE's got no idea what his opponent's doing. He has scouted nothing other than if there's a proxy outside of his base. Whereas on this side, ReAlliizX supply blocked pretty badly at the moment, but times it pretty well with finishing up his command center. Lots of Marines coming out, second gas on the way. But over here we already have the Banshee halfway done and the Cloak. There's no engineering bay. Starport's gonna have to go down immediately. So we can see what damage we're going to see get done here. I'm thinking he might have to do the engineering bay. I mean, maybe he's got a lot of faith in his control, keep a couple scans and use some of the Marines. But anybody worth his salt in, you know, micro is going to be able to take this Banshee and do a lot of work with it. Looks like it is going to be a tank Marine follow-up. If ReAlliizX survives, I mean, he's only up by 2 workers right now, but he has a double orbital. If he can survive and take, you know, very little damage, he's going to be doing amazingly. The problem is taking very little damage. Cloak's going to be finished up by the time this Banshee gets up there. It's just the one Banshee. A Raven's coming out after this. because once again, ExE's got no idea what he's going up against. Reaper actually gets the SV that was making the command center there and slows that down. Now, we have a Viking on the way, but now the cloak is done. So he can't use this command center, he's just going to leave it there, and I think he's okay with this. No, don't send back the SCVs. I think he's okay with this because it's not doing critical damage in any way, shape, or form. A little bit of damage on those Hellions there. Banshees do great damage to just about anything. Not the best scan, unfortunately. There is a Raven on the way right now, but it's going to be a while before that gets out. Ravens take a long time to make. Units-wise, ReAlliizX is still up in workers, but he still keeps losing some. Cost him 2 scans to get rid of that. I think he put down 3 scans in total to try and get that Banshee. Very expensive. Behind this, factories pretty late. Barracks, gonna have a reactor on that, plus lots of Hellions. Tanks in position, you're gonna keep them pretty safe. And this Raven is always just a nice thing to have. And he's getting out his own Vikings. I like having that air superiority. Oh, he does have a second Banshee out. I didn't even notice that. Lots of Hellions, but they're not going to be able to get a lot done. Double Viking production coming out now. And he is going mech. Up against somebody that still really hasn't decided which direction he's going to go yet. I'm thinking it feels like it could be for mech. But it's really hard to say. I just want to see how many workers he lost. He lost 6 workers to the Banshees. I'm trying to think if that was... That's not mission critical. He sees the push out coming with 3 tanks. He's got his own tank on the way, but he's supply blocked right now. Pretty heavily. He's going to have to slow this push down with his Hellions. He's got a lot of Hellions to deal with the Marines. The tanks will cut through this pretty fast. 2 Vikings in the sky. Versus 3. And a Raven with a point... Sorry, soon to be a point defense drone. So I don't know if the Terran player ExE can push into this just yet. Back on this side, still making workers. ReAlliizX is up very slightly. That's so many Hellions. I almost think it'd be worth it to try for a run around, go in here and see if we can get some damage. But 1 or 2 tanks can really shut down your entire day. Finally has his own tank out right now. Still building workers. Blue Flame is about to finish up. Against these Marines, he's going to do a really good job. Now it's really about positioning, and if he's going to let the ExE just kind of walk into his base here. The Vikings should be out here front doing some pot shots. He's going to lose this tank almost for free here. Doesn't have enough units here to be able to deflect this. Vikings are in a great spot. Tons of Hellions in play. 2 more Vikings pushes. Did he get the right time here? Did he push at the right time? Very clumped up. Oh no, he just GG's out.